one more thing with this. Everybody used to say, I will make an ugly girl.
You yourself? Oh.
Yeah, me myself. I'll be an ugly girl. So I used to tell them, if I was a girl, I'll be real sexy. I'll be real sweet. Hence the reason I made her married.
Why you think you're not make an ugly girl, man?
Never.
You're not ugly,
Watch this.
so you make her ugly.
Hey, so it's your boy Keston once again, and we're here on the live couch. And I know you've seen some different faces. I'm here with my beautiful wife, and Celia Hola. And we're here to talk some more things. I'll see a lot of couples here with us. But I want to recap. All you was here the last couple of shows, all you see Skin to Skin, man, awesome. Awesome. What you get out there, Joes? You get anything out there? Because I get a lot of things out there.
Yeah, I did. I loved how Don said, give us the advice to try different positions, try different places, not just the, what they call it? I can't remember the position.
Missionary.
The missionary,
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what's good for me though? Ladies, I know all you might take it so, but if you don't do it, somebody else go do it for your husband. So better watch yourself. You need to put things in place. Because somebody else looking from the outside, You understand what I'm saying? I love when Don told us as well to stop telling your children about the butterfly.
Yeah. Call it the correct name.
Call it the correct name one time, you understand? Teach them the right thing up front one time. And well, you say try different places as well. I was going back with that one now because I love that one now, man. Don't just stay in the bedroom now. Oh God, let me do it. Yeah, I mean, we had the living room. We are all about the place nice. We place. So, if you didn't see the episode, go back, take it in, skin to skin, watch it, right? And if you was there, continue, like it, share, comment. Oh God, we love all the comments that we get, but we want it to grow. Share it with a little friend now so them can get a little knowledge as well too. But tonight, we're dealing with something else. So we finished the topic, skin to skin, and when you finish that, you know what has happened? Yeah?
How pregnant are you?
How pregnant are you? So we call in this episode, How Pregnant Are You? And you see, we have a lot of people on the set with us, so let me introduce them one time. We have the couple who, on either side here, they ain't vex. Don't worry, Ollie, they ain't vex. It's just, they sit down here right now because they need thing long now, boy. 14 years, Tucson Hola and Odin Hola. They're in this thing 14 years now.
He asking if it's 14 years.
Well, yeah, boy.
Odin says 14,
Check is
so it's
14,
yeah.
right? And then...
I was 15.
You see how long this is? These things happen. These things happen.
All right, then. We have on this side here, we have Marlon and Sherelle Robinson. They have been married 9 whole years with 2 kids as well. Tucson and Odin have 2. And we have Wendy and Stephen and Wendy Morris, sorry.
Yes, put a handle on it.
Put a check to that. Stephen and Wendy Morris, and they've been married for 7 years. And they have 2 children as well. So,
how long you married now?
You know? Because I know we married 11 years now.
That's a serious thing. I just really want to forget it.
Right.
But it's 11 years.
11 years and 2 children, and it's going good. So, we're talking about this. How pregnant are you?
Well, me right now? I'm not pregnant, no. I am not pregnant.
All right, then.
I am not pregnant, no.
All right.
No.
So, we want to talk to the couples on the set, right? And this one just going out in general, yeah? So, the first one was, in getting married, right? And when you was thinking about it and getting married, was it always the plan to have children?
Yeah?
For everybody, yes?
Yep.
For me, yes. For sure.
Me, yes.
So then everybody was, I go and get married, my step is children.
Next step is children.
No, but the first initial step wasn't children. the first step was to enjoy my wife first, and then we can make a decision. All right, after this period, we go start to try.
Well, boy, I can't say that for me because I get married and bow. It was one time. It's true.
It wasn't one time. It was 6 months after.
Sorry.
That come like one
6
time,
months
sister.
after. Well, yeah, it was, Yeah. But ever since I know myself, I mean, growing up since I was 12 years, I actually wanted to have children. And in the order that I have it, a boy and a girl. So, I mean, it worked out.
I compromised. I wanted 2 boys because I grew up in a house with 2 boys. But I say, oh gosh, you can't do the woman.
You compromise.
Yeah, I say, Lord,
right.
Father God, give she a girl here.
He compromised all right.
Because I didn't want to pray for another boy because I was praying hard at the first time. But that being said, my wife already tried out there how many children because we have 2, but you had a number?
Yeah, we wanted 2.
I wanted 3.
Wanted 3?
Yes, I wanted. Yeah, I wanted 3.
Serious?
I said on my wedding day,
I wanted 3.
on my wedding day, I said I want 1 daughter. And after I get my 1 daughter, I'm going to chop it off. I have no use for it.
Well, we see that did not happen, right? He got 2.
2. Right, yeah. So.
And what you were saying, Stephen?
She said 3, I said 2.
So, is a compromise or we still aiming
going
at
for the next one?
It ain't no 3 after having 2.
We got 3. Technically, we got 3.
Well, all right.
Yeah.
And what about you all, Cheryl? Still going for the 3rd?
No,
you're
we are
good?
good.
Very
We are fine.
So just kick the 3 out the door just
We are
so?
good. No, 2. We got 2.
No, Odin who said she wanted.
Yeah,
I
Odin was
wanted
3.
three.
And
Okay.
Marlon got what he wanted because he always wanted girls.
Okay.
No, at first I did not want girls. I did not want girls at first, but after you get them, get the first one, I say, all right, the next one, girl. I ain't bound for the boy.
That wasn't our case.
Yeah.
I never knew she wanted 3. So when we got the first one, after a while she come back and say, she want to have her next child. I was like, hey, take a week. Think about this. And then come back because I know you are a boy. But me and God don't have an arrangement. You're getting girls. So if you know you want a next child, know she gonna be a girl. Take a week and come back.
I knew. God told me it would be a girl. I didn't mind.
God know I did not want boys. He would not give me a boy.
All right. And there it is.
So Stephen, you was what? Girls, boys? Just
You know what? I just wanted healthy children.
Oh, so you didn't have a...
I didn't really care whether it be a boy or girl, just healthy children.
Okay, I'll take that.
So Tucson, you didn't get a call? You didn't get a call when you told her take a week?
Yeah, after the week she
You're like,
came back.
honey, it's on tonight, right?
After the week she came back.
I came back
see?
with the stick. Look.
Yeah. You see? You got duped, man.
After the week, there was the stick. 2 lines.
All right. Wendy, and you was...
For me, it was a combination. I wanted boy and girl. Although
Okay.
after having Zoe, when I got pregnant with this 3rd, I was like praying for a girl. I didn't want boys. But when he came, fell in love.
Yeah, that's in.
And he's such a sweetheart.
Now I always wanted boys, as I said, but my wife really wanted a girl, so we went that road, right? But for us, and I will ask everybody, well, anybody here, kind of all plan yours, or it was unplanned? It was like, good, I'm pregnant, or no, it's time now.
I'll let my wife answer that one. She's a planner. Down to the T. Cheryl wanted children at a certain time so they won't have birthdays in school.
Yeah,
And she
that
got
was my
both of
idea.
them like that.
Okay. So you literally work
that is
all
smart.
out
Yeah,
That
I
is
did
smart,
not
that is
want
smart,
to
yeah.
do birthday parties
In school,
I
that
just
is
didn't
smart.
want it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Direct details, boy.
Yeah, I could understand
Nah,
now.
direct details you're talking
Yeah.
about this, Shell.
I could understand that
And I
now.
didn't get it.
We planned
We
ours
planned.
based
What?
on her holidays.
God had another plan.
So it would have been like she coming off in July, August. The baby was supposed to born October, so we'd have just go September, then skip. Maternity leave October, November, December come, she get. So that was our plan. And it worked out.
When do you guys?
The first one we planned, because we said, well, okay, after 6 months of marriage, he said after 6 months we will start.
6
And after 6 months, he was like,
I
come
can't.
off the pill yet? And I was like, yeah. I didn't come off the pill until 8 months after. And as soon as I came off the pill, baby, boom. Yeah.
Well,
I
Keston
didn't know it's
boy,
Simon.
I guess we was the only unplanned people here.
we didn't plan at
Nothing.
all because for both of our pregnancies, we knew 3 months after. Both of them.
Both.
3 months after. So we didn't plan. I don't know if to say we all how, but what's going on?
Now we
It's
just
good.
which part God wanted me to
Yeah,
become. We
exactly.
that is exactly who they're supposed to be and where they're
Exactly.
supposed to be, yes?
Did you guys get any advice? Well, for me, I read a lot of books. I Google a lot of stuff. Did you guys Google stuff, ask your parents for advice, all of that?
I Googled.
You Google?
Yeah, and books. I saw the books.
What to
Yeah,
expect when you
I really
expect it?
think
Yeah.
Yes,
What
that's the
is
book, yeah.
Yeah,
I wing it.
I left it up to her. I left it up to her.
Well, for me, I had a lot of practice because everybody know I have an adopted one. So that's my practice child. So when I say I get mine, I will know what I'm doing. So even though she wasn't biologically my child, I had enough time with her from small coming up. Shout out to Hannah. Coming up. So I know what to expect when I got my own.
I read books. A co-worker now, a very good friend of mine, had a baby the year before. So I wanted up-to-date information. Yes, I asked my mom and whatever, but that was many years ago, right? So I wanted up-to-date information on who, the best, everything, down to formula. I wanted to know what we are using now, not how much years ago, and I had to do it.
Wow.
So I asked all the questions and read all the books. But, I mean, you have your own experiences. Everybody is different. So what she told me actually did not apply to my situation when I was pregnant with Amari and Chelsea.
You jump in my next question already
God,
because I wanted to.
Before we go to that, Cheryl and Marlon, you did the whole Google and all of that too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, if you're planning down to the day,
Yeah.
I mean, you had to have all the
Yeah,
information laid
yeah.
out here,
Yeah.
for this conversation.
And you probably had a binder and everything with everything listed.
Wow.
I have books with everything.
Wow.
But that's
Yep.
the most
Nice,
important
nice.
I like that,
thing
yeah.
happening in your life.
Yeah.
Well,
You check yourself.
Both of them to check on it.
it's
Because-
serious.
Now, well, we passed that bridge. We don't have to check yourself again.
Not
But
anymore in truth.
that's right. I understand. But I love the dynamics of how everybody did this. Honestly, when I was just excited to hear we're pregnant, I was just like, it's going to be a boy. It's going to be a boy. I wasn't telling Sissy that, but that was my excitement and going through the whole process of it. But the question I was going to ask that, Odin kind of move forward on already, right? As in reading and talking to people and your Google search and all of that, did you really
take the
advice, or was the advice that was given
make sense.
make sense to your situation?
Well, all right, since I had jumped the gun, right? For me, I went in with secondhand advice from my friend. But then in my particular situation, they discovered I am O negative. My blood type is O negative. So that's a rare blood type. So in that now, I had to get a different type of treatment for me and the fetus, right? I had to get RhoGAM shots. I had to get tests. For each visit, it wasn't a normal ultrasound. It was tests, shots, the works, because of the medical issues with O negative, yeah. So my situation was different now from what I had been hearing the previous year. So I had to adapt and read again and go through,
Yeah, as Odin said, you will have your own unique situation. So what I read, honestly, it's really, my pregnancy changed so much. Things came up that I didn't even believe or think would happen to me, that I didn't even hear before. After all the Googling, I didn't know these things would actually happen to me. So, no, yeah. Everything didn't turn out.
So I'm asking,
No, but even though you didn't read Marlon, it have some advice. It may not have been as serious as Odin and Cheryl share, but some advice that you get from the older people that really didn't make any kind of sense, so you didn't need to use.
To tell you the honest truth, didn't get no advice, to tell you the honest truth, Like I said, just winging it and going on what Cheryl knew and read and what she'll come back and tell me. I roll with that because I know my wife.
Cheryl organized, so Cheryl organized.
You understand? One thing she don't miss with those things. So I was confident that she had a luck. I just go in within the full 9 months. I just on the ride. When baby come, everything go jump out.
Because in I gonna ask you when in this situation, you get advice. Make it sure when you're young, Yeah, do it long, do it too long. Make sure when you're young, because you don't want to run them down when you're an old man.
Yeah.
You just get them one person who throw that one for you.
Or even the pamper. I remember an older lady told me, don't use those pampers on them, you need to use the diaper and wash your diaper and what to use to keep it white. And I was like, I was very respectful and listened, but in the back of my mind, I was like, I'm not washing that. No. So that's what some of the advice that you didn't use. What about you guys?
For me, my concept of pregnancy was, pregnancy is not a sickness. I see my grandmother used to go and cut cane, come home, make the baby, go back in the cane field.
That is our next thing
right?
too, yeah.
But in reality, pregnancy really is 1 foot in and 1 foot out. And until the baby comes, that's when the game is over. You really have to approach it with caution because not everybody's body is made up the same way. And, I think for a lot of people, you don't do checks to see if you have any, imperfection or health issues that could jeopardize pregnancy. And it's only when you get into it and you start to experience the difficulties and the complications, then you realize, pregnancy is not a sickness, but it is a challenge for some.
So for us, from the time Cheryl said, Marla and I pregnant, I think she started to vomit right because it was like Marla and I pregnant. Sickness for the full nine. Now with the reading of the books, I think she told me it have like a time period it will be sick and thing, but no. Not
9 months.
Not Cheryl. 400.
I thank God. I thank God that I didn't experience most of what I hear in here as well too. Because my wife likes that pregnancy with, at least the first one, she was the trooper going to work, preschool, belly all out here, and she's still going teaching and all kind of thing. And then it have a lot of women and a lot of people who just treat that pregnancy like, it's the, when they get pregnant, they're sick and you have to, this is a task. And then you just see the ones who just, they're good. You understand? So you always wonder, I love how you say there's a one in, one out kind of situation because that is true. But in saying that then, right, let's ask this then. Was everybody here looking forward to have or to become a parent then, basically, right? And then if that was the case, we was really looking forward to.
The cute little baby, you know, growing up, I always liked babies, to pick them up and walk, and not thinking about carrying the baby, not thinking about waking up every 2 hours, not thinking about breastfeeding, changing pampers. This is me. I just want to hold my baby and play with it.
Because nobody tells you that.
Nobody
tells you about the challenges of being a parent.
They glamorize it
Yes,
because the
they
baby
make it
is
sound like
so
the best.
cute.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
but
but
when
it's
you
good.
get into it, I mean, it is a wonderful experience, but there's the good and the bad. You have to navigate being a new parent, all these things, right? But for me, it was holding my cute baby.
I was looking forward to matching outfits. Matching outfits and going to the mall and doing cute little
I
princess
know,
things.
right?
parties.
I know,
But
I
I didn't know. Even though only be that.
Well, asking Stephen.
I think I learned from a lot of other people's experience with their children because one of my jobs is basically a personal trainer, whereas I have clients one client in particular who was pregnant like 3 times and more sometimes. And I see her kids and they always, mommy, and I'm like, I don't want my child to be like that. But you know, no, I really don't care. My children is my children. Jump up, jump high. You're waking up in the middle of the night, you're pulling out tractor from your back, all kind of thing. Yeah. That's enjoying being a parent, and I love it so far.
What about you,
Susan?
Susan?
I remember I tell her I always wanted a girl, so.
Why? You want to dress them up too?
No. Here what it was, right? Here was the first thing. We had sisters. We have sisters, but we never grew up with our sisters.
Okay.
So I grew up with Onike as my sister when all my friends had sisters. So I say, boy, when I get married and have a child, I want to be a girl, so I go have my girl right through with me now, boy. And then I had one more thing with this. Everybody used to say, I would make an ugly girl.
You yourself?
Yeah, me myself. I'd be an ugly girl. So I used to tell them, if I was a girl, I'd be real sexy. I'd be real sweet. Hence the reason I made her marry.
Why you think you don't make an ugly girl, man?
Never.
You're not ugly,
Watch
so
this.
you can make her ugly. I don't know all of that there, but I didn't think so.
That was my thing. I just wanted a girl.
Right. For me, it was even easier than all of that. I wanted my name to continue. Basic. Having a child, I big on that. I want that name to continue. So, you were girls and you were... No, I want that boy so that holder could have... Yeah! To live forever.
I totally agree.
To live forever.
Even if I have a girl, she could still have it hyphen.
I totally
They don't
agree.
even have to be hyphenated. But
She
that's
just-
another show.
That's another show, right?
another
Because
She just do like her mother and keep her name.
a whole nother show, right? Because in knowing that I wanted boys or a boy self, it was that, hey, that name going and just continue. You understand? Live, let that name live, right? Because girls, they change. They change, you understand?
What am I supposed to mean?
You
When
mean-
they change, it is grow up? What?
Of course, but
The name?
yeah, she was Morris, she was Ramchara. You understand?
Still runs through these veins.
Not on the certificate.
I'm not sure. That's what
Let's
I'm
just-
clarifying.
Let's as we say, another show,
ready to
right?
move on.
Another show. Let me leave that one first. This one here is how pregnant are you, right? That one is for another show, right?
Now, postpartum depression. You talk a little bit about that, right? Now, some people actually think postpartum depression is nonsense. I've heard people say they think it's it's not real. You know, what you're talking about, what postpartum depression, but it's a real thing.
All right, just now, for the people like who might be sure and might have to look it up, what is postpartum
Well, that
depression?
is my question to the men and them now. Do you know what is postpartum depression? And if so, did your wives experience it? You know anything about postpartum depression?
Yeah. That is when, like after pregnancy, the woman goes into this kind of stage of depression. They might not want to hold the baby or be in too much contact with the baby. It have different women experience it differently. But that's what I know basically about it.
Now, you guys, we're going to have a gynecologist that is going to come in the next session, right? So we will clear up all of these terms, right? Postpartum and all the others. But we're talking here as friends and we want to know what you guys know about it.
You won't believe where I saw this. A dancehall artist, Mr. Vegas, from Jamaica. He have a song. For real, this is where I saw postpartum depression. He has a song with it. So I sit down watching it and I was like, but then if it's real. So I went and look and say, well, it's really real. But my wife didn't have it. So, no, I didn't think she had anything like that because she was too excited to have a child.
Stephen?
After the first one, there was a bit of depression and we needed some counseling and stuff like that. But, you know, yeah, prayers and took us where we wanted to be. And being around people, you know, close persons that is calling, you, Odin, would have been calling to find out what's going on. CC, a lot of people would have been calling to say, hey, how are things? You know, I don't want to jump the gun.
I was not going to say that. Y'all are probably wondering what Stephen is talking about. But don't worry, we're going to get into that, right?
We get into that.
We understand.
So wait, let me ask this question. So guys could get it?
I have never heard of
They
it,
can.
but I think so.
They
think so.
They actually can, because I know of a real life situation where a father got it, right? Yeah. It was a situation where the mother was so severely depressed after making the baby that she left. She left the baby in the hospital permanently. So the father had to go to the hospital knowing all this and take his baby home, a daughter, right? And he got postpartum. It was just termed as depression, but it is postpartum because of the scenario, right? Yeah, it's still postpartum because it's post-baby.
Yeah.
It's post-delivery. Yeah, but so they do it for different reasons, yeah. Could be also, just sympathizing with their wife, the emotions, they don't know what to do. Remember, some men can't deal with emotions. So they will feel it remember, depression is a negative vibe. So some people feed off the energy of their spouses.
Yeah.
So just mindset, you would feed off that. But yes, it is real for males, yeah, for males.
So, I mean, I would talk for us. I think there was a little level of it with Sissy. Because when we initially, we'll get into all of that, coming home with baby and all of that, but when we came home, the excitement was there, but the trauma, if you want to call it, of the whole birthing process, left that kind of, give me a little moment. So, and how I would know that as well too, a lot of, if you go back to that time, a lot of the photos, you will not see her in a lot of photos with with our first child, she's not in any of I wouldn't say first year, but a couple months of him being born, she's in no pictures with him at all. She always says now as well, I don't have that time. You understand? I don't have that time. So it was there. For me, I stepped in and you will see a million pictures with me and my son in it, right? Because I was that person there. I was like, hey, I was excited again. It was my boy. I ain't saying it just for that, but it was, and I knew she wasn't dealing with it that way, so I was always there to be that person to help and hold, right? So, yes, I know. And we go into the ladies.
Yeah, because that brings us to the next question. Well, nobody said that they actually dealt with it or had it, right? Well, Wendy, we know you guys with the first one, but that was the next question. How did you cope? How did you get over it? Now, I would say for me, right, and this may sound very strange, but it is what it is because it's the truth, right? Before I experienced it, I honestly, not that I didn't have any clue, but I think I didn't look into it a lot. You know, so I wouldn't say that it was foolishness, but I didn't really have a lot of information on postpartum depression. I didn't really think it was, when I read all the books, I really didn't read any of the negative when it comes to pregnancy at all. And interestingly enough, I kind of get how much, at least, well, with both pregnancies and the labor and delivery was, that had its own challenges, and then with postpartum depression, which I read nothing about, asked anything about. So all of it was very new to me, and I had to learn as I go through, and it was very, very difficult. So that's how I know this thing is real, and I am now more, what's the word, sympathetic, and, understanding it. So, what would be, what did you do to overcome it, I should say? What were some of the things that helped you?
So for me, it was a difficult situation because it was giving birth to a child that only survived 2 days. Yeah. And then having to deal with lactating and not having a baby to feed. And, I cried for, I think, a month straight every night. I think he got to the point where he was like, okay, I don't know what to do again. Because you would see a Pampers ad on the TV and you would just start to ball on the place. But it was getting back into things that I was accustomed doing before pregnancy. Getting back to work helped me. It helped to be a distraction from the emotions and how you feel and just not being in the house. Because being in that space where you were preparing for baby to be there, it brought a lot of emotions with it.
Yeah, you all had everything done prepared. Yeah, boy.
Well, we didn't have everything prepared because the baby came about 10 weeks early. So we weren't really prepared because I was in the water broke at 6.5 months of pregnancy, spent 3 weeks in the hospital, discharged myself out of frustration and end up back in the hospital 2 days later to give birth. And of course, when you go to some of these public hospitals, they tell you, but why you check yourself out? And you're in labor and they're telling you these things and it's like, okay, I'm having a baby here. And what compounded it was, baby didn't survive after that. But what helped to get over that difficult period was getting back to something familiar. Coming back to church helped me because during that period, I didn't want to hear nothing about church. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to be around anybody. But coming back to church, getting back into worship helped me. Worship helped me a lot. And just, and just going back to work and getting back into the routine of life. Getting back a routine helps.
So, for me, right, and I'll cut in here because this is the topic that you don't hear people talking about. You understand? A lot of people you would hear a story, but it would be a story of America or somewhere. You don't really hear that relatable story of right here, somebody you know personally. I mean, I know what we're talking about. I was there experiencing with you, but hearing it and I mean sharing it for people is something that we don't really discuss as a culture. It's that it comes in the vein of what we started off saying, it almost taboo to talk about these kind of things because why? I mean, it happened. Let me just
and then too, I mean, it's kind of difficult to know how to bring it up too, eh?
Yeah, I mean, it's not the
every
it's not conversation starter.
Yeah.
Right? And I get that. But at the same time I'm talking this now, because we here now. We at this point. Right? For a lot of us or a lot of people, even from the conception stage, and we're gonna start sharing some stories that if you never hear about it before, you're gonna hear some things here today. From the conception stage, we're getting into it. Miscarriages. At a point in time, I was like amazed to hear about a ghost pregnancy. Right? And well, so in Wendy's case, I don't have the correct term. Preterm birth where the baby is born before time, right? And we have, even now, after all of that, full term and complications. And this is why we're here at the Life Couch tonight, because we have all four of those situations seated right here. Right? We're going in a little heavy. I hope all you want to think, but I want to continue listening to it. I want to go to Marlon and Cheryl. How your experience was, and was it at the first time, or was it in between the first child, or was it the first child, that kind of way?
Okay, so we had 4 pregnancies, right? We had 4 pregnancies. We have 2 girls. So we had 4, So we had 2 miscarriages. So after Sarai, our first daughter, we tried 2 years. When she was 2 years, we started trying because, we planned, So a year passed, negative test after negative test. It's like, what? Because when we got pregnant with Sarai, it was off the jump when we decided to. So this was kind of concerning what was going on. The second year came, basically negative test after negative test. Everybody's like, what are you waiting on? Not knowing what we waiting on, not knowing fresh. Someone asked me that. I was constantly being asked, when the next child coming? Sarai is 2. Then she turned 3. What's going on? And
that is a pet peeve of mine. Stop asking people when they're going to make a child. Stop it. You don't know what they're going through. Seriously.
And at these times, I was fresh out of the hospital.
Wow.
Fresh out of it. So we finally got the positive pregnancy test. And we were so happy. We were so happy. And everything seemed to be going good for the first few months. And at the 4th month, that is where we went for the ultrasound. You were not there. I went by myself because you had to work. Of all the time, that time, he was there throughout. At that time, he had to work. So the doctor said it's not, I think the word used was viable. It's not a viable, and it was so, this doesn't look like a viable pregnancy. Hold on, it was so harsh.
So not only do family and friends don't know exactly what to say, but even the medical attendees and all, they'll deal with a kind of harsh way as well.
So it was termed a ghost pregnancy. So basically, I still had all the symptoms. I was still nauseous. My stomach was still growing. Everything like a pregnancy was still happening, but along the way, at some point in time, the baby, well, disintegrated, for want of a better word, and yeah. So after that experience, now we tried again, and a few months after, we got another positive. So at this time, we were excited. Yes, I was happy, but I also had that in the back of my head, what if this happens again? What to do? How to handle this? So it was basically we were walking on eggshells with this pregnancy. Earlier on, about 2 months in, 3 months, we found out that we lost. I lost the baby again. Yeah, and at that point, as Wendy was saying, I was like, what did I do? What did I do? Did I do something at some point in time? Was Sarai a miracle baby? I was thinking now that Sarai is a miracle baby, and we just need to thank God for Sarai. It was hard because I wasn't sharing it really. So it was just kind of like us, and just like 1 or 2 persons around us. And people would still be saying comments, and it was a hard time.
And we try to keep it limited because at the same time, you don't want these different comments coming to you. Well, or you could go back, or you're young, or you could try again, jump back, beat the iron when it's hot, all these.
So, like, get them kind of comments, or well, even from the people who knew, or they ever get that, man, or they still young.
Where do you love it?
I got from a family member that knew. You didn't do what the doctor tell you to do. How that happened? You didn't follow the doctor advice. Yeah, I got that. I would never forget that statement.
Of course not.
It stays with you. So, instead of focusing and you're trying to grieve. You are trying to overcome grief. You don't know how to go about it. And then you would think that people's comments are the last thing you would be thinking about. But I think we need to understand that what you say stick with people. It stays with them, and they may remember your words forever. So what I also forgot to say is that the 2 pregnancies that we had some complications also. So it wasn't only the miscarriages. The pregnancies had complications. No amount of books could prepare you for everything that your body and that your mind is going to go through. So that's the real short wrap up.
Yeah.
Cheryl went through what? How much hours of labor with Sarai?
30-something.
30-something hours of labor with
Dry.
Sarai.
And I had a dry boot.
Right. So it was, I tell you, therapy. So that is, imagine a whole day passed, nothing happened, and then some hours to go, right? So we up and down, we going by the midwife for them to do a sweeper. That sweep alone is a therapy to kind of open up the cervix and stuff. And
I almost broke her hand. Seriously.
Right? All these things that they have to
What is that sweep?
The
They
hand,
go
the hand
inside and
up in
try to
you.
widen.
The wideness. Your whole hand.
The
So
cervix.
induced labor.
Yeah.
They try to get the baby to
Right. So to make it dilate more, whatever you call it. Yeah. right? So that going up and blood will come out and water and the whole thing, right? After that, go in hospital where you say, all right, do the sweep. That is about 11 o'clock in the night, right? We go to the hospital now, still nothing. So we go from night to day and then come back to sometime in the evening time. And then they come and do sweep and thing again. And so this is how much hours of having to walk and stoop and all kind of things trying to induce labor. Then our midwife came and and do a quick sweep kind of thing, and then tell her to push and so I end up coming out healthy, strong. Very thankful for that. But 36 hours of serious pressure. So
you went what, full 9?
No, with Samara. Yes, but not with Noah. We went till 8 weeks.
Yeah. So
yeah, with Sarai.
A week or two.
And Samara was over her due date.
Wait, you all also go public or you went private?
We went public. We did
That's one thing.
ultrasounds privately.
Ben, your mom, you went by your mom?
Yeah.
That's one thing when you and I had fear actually going to the public.
Yeah, after the first one.
After
Because
the
the first one,
one.
we had to go.
Private.
We had to go public because no private institution would have taken me.
Right.
And having to spend all this time in the hospital. But yeah, there's that fear there too.
Yeah.
Public versus private.
But remember her mom work in the hospital, so she will have it. That come like private for her.
That's private. That's private care there. That's the best care. A public private care.
So again, the why getting here is just like what we heard on the side there is be mindful again, because you don't know what somebody going through. Because I heard this talking to somebody and they say, you know, we waited on something wrong with you, right? Not knowing something could really be wrong. You understand? And we take it as likely as saying, wait now, all you married how long now? I'm telling you, boy, you ain't praying nothing, no. Something wrong with all you. And something is really wrong. I was talking to a colleague what it was, and he just having a conversation, because I was saying, boy, when you got married, you know, you always wanted to have children him now. I'm to you, right? What kind of question is that? I said, no, it's a question him now. That was a thing, yeah, I wanted that him. I wanted 3 him. And this is where we do look at it. He said that almost mashed up my, was almost the thing that mashed up my marriage. He said because $19,000 spent and no baby yet. You understand? And he's saying what really going on here? And that was a problem, because now saying, but you really want this and it's not happening. You understand? And we take it likely that, hey, when you get married, you understand? As you'll make 2, 3, 5, how much ever you want, you understand? You go get your number, but it isn't the case for everybody. And we have to be mindful how we go now and talk to people, because, and how we say things to people, right?
But how Samara?
How was Samara?
Samara.
No.
We took took like a year. We say that her body can catch back on everything. We're not planning or trying to have again. And then after the year, we started back, right? Also, I would say our pastor prayed for her. We told him what was going on as well. And he prayed for her and everything. And after that,
But Samara had complications. I had borderline placenta previa with Samara. And so I was on bed rest for 2 months.
What is borderline? What?
Placenta.
Placenta previa.
What is that?
It is, now the gynecologist will
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
That is when the placenta was basically too close to the cervix. So what could happen is premature birth. And way before it's supposed to be, and the mother is also in jeopardy. So it's not only the baby, it's the mother too. So we had steroids to build her lungs. We had steroid shots for her, and a lot of doctor visits.
Just to make sure everything good and everything good with Cheryl as well, you know, because it could be scary. It is very, very scary.
I wouldn't say it could be in this sense. It is scary because it's
1 foot in, 1 foot out.
1 foot in, 1 foot
And
out.
look, you all didn't know you all are family. You all didn't know this.
Yeah.
Right? You know? So,
Yeah, I know it was a little short for you, right? Because it now started getting interesting. But we had to cut it because at the time now, boy. But don't worry, we back again next week. Not next week, but the following week, actually. The 29th, right here. I know some are getting confused about it, and it's not every Tuesday, but it's rather every other Tuesday. So if you're watching me now, miss that Tuesday, come the next Tuesday, right? It's the 29th we on, right here, 8 p.m. Life Coach, right?
These are some of the difficult discussions that we want to have. I mean, it's Life Coach, and we all about keeping it real, right? So I am so happy to be a part of this evening's session. This is very close to my heart.
You know I'm happy that you're here, love.
You are, alright.
of
Alright,
course.
I'm taking that.
I mean, I take
Jerome boy, a higher spot.
Of course, meaning a high spot.
You're putting him out?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, don't do him that.
All right,
Don't do him
well,
that.
let's
Don't do
just
him that.
Hey, it couldn't happen without some people, obviously,
sure.
right? So we
All
want to
our
thank all
sponsors.
them people and them,
Yeah.
all the sponsors, Jesus Life Center, the biggest sponsor that we have,
Yeah.
right? We want to thank them for allowing us. Yeah, the use of the place, obviously, right? And then we want to thank Coach Titi for you see these chairs that you're seeing on the set? We want to thank them for it. A nice, a nice new look now, boy. Right? Crossroads Production and Selena Films for the audio gear. And we want to thank Love Moments Events. Everybody went home full. They like what they get for the set design and making it look how it looked as well. And we want to thank Ring Films. Ring Films. We can't leave him out and we can't make no mistake with the name at all, right? Ring Films. Because if we don't have Ring Films, you can't see us. So we want to big him up one time.
Yep.
Ring Films for all that they supply and all that they give us here all the time for Life Coach.
Yeah.
Right? Hey, but saying that, we just can't bypass Jesus Life Center like what we did at the beginning. Hey, Jesus Life Center celebrating 75 years this year. And if you want to find out anymore, there are real things coming up. You know what you can do?
Yeah.
Check them on the Facebook page for all the events. Yo, it's a real thing happening. Art and this. Hey, watch now, you
Art
can't done.
exhibition, reunion, we have a gala coming up. Check out the page.
Hey, and if you want to be a sponsor, just hit us up now, man. And hey, we can make it happen. Want to be a part of this? Life Coach.
I say today, see these women, they're real strong. Real strong. And a lot of people don't even see it. They just see brains and beauty, but they never understand what it truly means to be a mother.